Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Justin, and this here is the second video of a two-part set covering what to expect from the BT4 release. These two videos are edited down from a live stream that we did a couple days ago where we covered all of this information. If you missed the first video, it's linked right up there in the iCard. You can go watch it now and come back, or watch it after this one. It really doesn't matter either way. This video will be focusing on how BT4 actually affected the meta as far as which decks became prevalent and what those decks look like. And before we jump into any of that, if you like the video, do me a big favor, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing to the channel, and if you do, turn on the notifications. Also, if you're interested, I have started up my Patreon, and Patreon members not only get a shout out in my video, Patreon members receive exclusive access to certain contests and giveaways for stuff like these, as well as certain tiers get a free metal memory counter. So, if you're interested, link is in the description. Before we get into the part that's from the live stream, I actually want to take a look at something that I totally forgot to show off in my live stream. And it's these two charts. One of them literally saying BT4 impact on tournaments. As you can tell from the chart on the left, shortly after BT4 released at the end of December 2020, we saw a shift from a huge green presence to a huge yellow presence. Green decks dropped from being about 42% of the decks to being roughly 25%, with regular old Chaosmon, Nidhoggmon, and Hercules Kabuterimon being the most popular cards, while yellow jumps from about 25% to being around 41% of the decks seen at these tournaments, with Chaosmon Valder Arms, War Greymon, and of course Slash Angemon being the most popular there. Still though, these two decks make up the majority of what is seen in these tournaments, with every other color being down in the single digits. Except for red, which seems to rise to about 15%, with Victory Greymon being the popular card alongside the usual Omnis. Sadly, even though you'll soon see the purple is a higher tier deck in this format, it just doesn't see a lot of love, alongside black basically doing nothing. Notably, there is an upspike in blue decks come January, so that's cool, and honestly, while I do expect a lot of this to look similar in our own meta, I also feel like we will see more red and blue decks simply because of the promo Agunimon and Lobomon lending some real strength to red and blue hybrid Digimon decks. And then the chart on the right pretty much just reinforces what the first one tells us, showing us that green, yellow, and hybrid decks are the majority, with half of the hybrid decks being yellow, meaning green and yellow decks make up about 65% of the format. Do keep in mind that these are numbers from early January, still very much in the midst of the pandemic, so the data pool is very shallow, and as any good statistician will tell you, small data sets don't really give you a very good picture of the whole. So just keep that in mind. Alright, so now we can move on to the edited live stream portion where I cover what these decks actually look like. We're going to start with what decks are going to stick around, because there are a few decks that are already currently out that are going to stick around. So first, foremost, Red Omega, not really going anywhere. It's a super popular deck. It's, well, a red Omni for us, but it's super popular, still going to be super popular. There's a lot of red decks that still have Omnimon in them, even though they do gain a bit of a boost from some other pretty popular cards. Victory Greymon, see what we spoke about before, the new Rise Greymon, the Voltdramon. It's a heavy hitting, powerful, you get security attack from Greymon, you get security attack from Voltdramon, and you play into one of your Omnimons or whatever, and then swing, take out a bunch of security. Red Omni's not going anywhere. Another one that's not going anywhere is going to be Shine Greymon. It actually takes kind of two different forms. You got this Shine Greymon. This one, obviously, like you said, Pitamon, because it's a staple in every yellow. Then we add the new Rise Greymon in there, because it's all about playing the Tamers. And then we have the regular Shine Greymon, and then, of course, they add the new level 7 Valder Arm in there. And the new tie. It's all about getting as many Tamers as you can. So this is a pretty standard Shine Greymon deck, with really the only additions being Rise Greymon and tie, and of course finally having a level 7. But Shine Greymon didn't need a level 7 to begin with. It's a big deck that wins plenty without a level 7. But this one adds the new War Greymon versus trying to add like another Rise Greymon. This one also plays the Angelwomon where the other one doesn't. But again, Pitamon becomes a staple in every yellow deck at this point. Cheap blockers are going to be the big thing going forward. Surprisingly, this one doesn't take advantage of the new tie. I thought was weird, but adding the War Greymon in there for a little extra oomph from the top end, be a bit more attack heavy. That's pretty cool. And then Imperial Dramon, Blue Imperial Dramon isn't going anywhere. It does add in the new hybrids, so Lobomon, Strabomon, but you still have Dramon, Imperial Dramon, still the same basic setup. The only thing that's really new that was added into the Imperial Dramon Blue is the hybrid cards. Now, as far as new decks that you're going to be seeing, there's really 4 main decks that top the charts consistently over and over again. You're going to see a bunch of different decks, but not all of them are top tier. You know, you're going to see Blue Garurumon / hybrid decks with Lobomon, Beowulfmon, whatever. You're going to see cool purple decks that run something other than Anubismon or with Anubismon. You're going to see, you know, heavier hybrid red decks that are heavy hitting and come out of nowhere with the tamer evolutions. But those are just like cool fun decks to play. They're not always winning these tournaments. So we'll start with one of the lower. This is like a tier 2 type deck, and that's going to be the Anubismon. Pretty standard stuff until you get into the Anubismon. You got the Metal Garurumon as well, and then Millenniummon. Anubismon decks become very popular, but not just this. This is like an all purple, but there's also a purple hybrid one, purple yellow hybrid, where instead of some of these, like they might take out like the Demidevimon and play a Loosemon or play a Bushiagamon. Essentially, it's just purple with a little yellow package thrown in there for some extra fun, for some extra hits. Makes it a bit more aggressive that way. And then yellow really starts to take off in this set. Yes, we had Shine Greymon previously, and while it is a beast of a deck, it ends up being outclassed by the new War Greymon. So again, we see the Bushiagamon and the Loosemon. These 2 level 3 yellows are very powerful, and they become even more so in later decks. And BT5 with Lord Nightmon, these 2 cards are awesome. Betamon again, /Angemon is always a staple in the yellow. And like I said, War Greymon. So the new War Greymon lets you unsuspend it for the cost of a security card, and it lowers DP by 6,000. So essentially, you'll attack. You can choose to use the 6,000 DP then, or you can wait till your second attack, whatever you want to do. Then unsuspend your Digimon, trash a security card, and then you can get it back using Angelwoman. You can get it back with a Loosemon. You can get it back. This deck's not running it, but you can play Tactical Retreat and get it back that way. So this yellow War Greymon deck, this is like tier 1 because, you know, we can just go back and look at it. This is on DigimonMeta.com. They keep track of all of the different tournaments that play. And if we go back into like January and into February, because right around here is when BT5 releases, right? So we got yellow, purple, green, yellow, red, yellow, hybrid, but it's red and yellow, hybrid, purple, yellow. So yellow becomes a heavy hitter in this set, and it doesn't stop there. BT5, Lord Nightmon right now, heavy hitter. Majority, 75% of the decks are like yellow Lord Nightmon decks. This is the start of yellow coming up and kicking ass, and it ain't gonna slow down anytime soon. Then we got Nidhoggmon. Now we have to keep in mind that green decks in Japan at this time were not restricted. In April we got the restriction on the hidden potential discovered. This one right here. I don't think they were restricted at the time. Maybe they were, because I mean, look, they're only running one of them, which, why not run 4? Maybe they were restricted, but I'm pretty sure the restriction list didn't apply till April. Correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody knows otherwise. It would be weird that there would be a restriction list separate for us in April if they had the restriction list back in January. So essentially, Nidhoggmon is the second of the top decks. So for tier 1, it's pretty much Nidhoggmon and War Greymon, yellow War Greymon, and everything else is just like tier 2 or lower. You still see like the purple decks are still winning. Purple second place. We go down, like red here got first place. This is another red Omni deck. Yellow red hybrid here, first place. Green, this isn't even a Nidhoggmon deck, but this green deck got first place. That's kind of an outlier. You don't really see much of that. See, this green's a Nidhoggmon. Another purple yellow hybrid here, first place. Black, this was kind of like a an outlier. This was based around Blastmon. It's like the only black deck that shows up on this list. We got some blue in here, but that's again this Imperial Dramon, I believe this one is more of a hybrid blue-green deck. But essentially, it's yellow and it's green. Yellow War Greymon, green Nidhoggmon. Those are the top 2 decks that show up over and over and over again, with a few other ones splashed here and there. They're not bad decks, but they're also not winning every single time. So Nidhoggmon, that's the next big one. But with hidden potential, I mean, if this is before restriction, even if it's post restriction, it doesn't really matter. They only played 1, which means Nidhoggmon is still going to be a contender with only 1 hidden potential. So keep that in mind. And then lastly, we spoke about it before, the D Brigade. It's kind of a rookie-ish rush deck. It's not obviously completely rookies. I mean, not all rookie rush decks are completely rookies anyways, but it's heavy on getting Commandramons out. And if you can play a Commandramon as long as you've got Tank Dramon on the field. You can attack with the Commandramon, and if it dies, you have a chance of getting another one. The more Tank Dramon you have on the field, the more chances you have. Say you've got this Commandramon on field, you attack, and you got the Tank Dramon, 1 or 2 or however many. You attack with this one, it dies, you get to search the top 3 cards of your deck for another Commandramon on deletion, and you get to use Tank Dramon's effect however many times for however many you have to find even more Commandramon after that. At that point, I mean, you've got, what, 8 of them in this deck? Yeah, now 12. Yeah, so there's one that comes out in the new starter deck. So you got the BT3 one, you got the one that comes out, this BT4, and the other one from the starter deck. So you're running 12 of these guys. You're gonna come across one if you're searching 3, and then we got top 2 for each one. So yeah, that's the idea. So this one, while not obviously not a big winner, it does. I mean, it took first place at this tournament in like mid-January, but you don't see it a lot. But I pulled it up as kind of like a runner-up type deck, because Rookie Rush is always a popular style, and you're gonna see Rookie Rush decks, and they did, release some cards that kind of nerf Rookie Rush if you're concerned about that sort of thing. But it's always cool to see what sort of spin on Rookie Rush you get with the new sets. So with this one, it's a bit of a different play style than your other Rookie Rush. Yeah, I think the current one right now is all about jamming. I don't really follow Rookie Rush all that much. I know I did a Future Meta short not that long ago of a yellow-green Rookie Rush that comes out in BT5. It's cool to see how that is gonna change a little bit. So these decks might start popping up. So Lilithmon. Yeah, see, so on here you got, like I said before, you got a Lilithmon and I believe that was Plutomon. Yeah, Lilithmon and Plutomon that do well with playing option cards like Necrophobia. Jack Red gives you more memory, and then it looks like they have a blue package here. So this looks like a purple with a blue package, which is pretty cool. I think I saw there was a red one with a blue package. It would take me forever to find it. But this whole, this blue package is almost the exact same in the other one as well. It's Vmon with jamming, the Demi Vmon, and Kaiser Nail, Vulcan's Hammer. This blue package is like a little set that you can just add to really, well, I guess whatever set you want, because it's mainly centered around being able to get some free memory from Vulcan's Hammer, and then being able to play Kaiser Nail to pull out a Digimon from the source and just play it for free. So pretty cool, pretty cool. All right, so now that we've kind of covered everything you as a Digimon competitive player should be expecting to see come, you know, end of June, July, into August. I don't know when they're supposed to be releasing BT5. I think it's probably closer to December. But you'll have a few months there where the whole meta is going to shift. You're going to see new decks. You're going to see improvements on old decks. Now you know. Which I know a lot of the competitive people already knew this. A lot of people were keeping up with future meta stuff already, but a lot of people aren't. I've met a lot of people when I'm playing that are only concerned with 1.0 and 1.5 and don't really want to even look at some of the other stuff because they don't want to waste their time with stuff that isn't current. But now that BT4 is coming out, let's, hopefully this helps some of you guys.